top 2 vote getters, and you add those votes. Well, first you subtract the number, so you get the difference between the votes. In this case, it was 260 votes. You also add those votes and take 2% of that number, simply multiply by 0.02. That gives you your 2% threshold. And if the difference is above that number, then there's no recount. It's a kind of a bright line test. And if it's below that number, if it's below 2%, then the law says there is a recount. And we are an automatic recount jurisdiction, which means if you take that, whatever that magic number, for Guam it's 2%, a lot of other places it's a smaller number or percentage. Once that threshold, you fall below that threshold, then the recount's automatic, regardless of whether anyone asks for it.
And Attorney Civille, can you restate exactly which election results are going to be recounted?
I think we determined that the Democratic Gubernatorial race, certainly that'll be recounted, and then both of the legislative races.
That's it?
Yes. Now you guys are going to do the math, so if we miss something, you'll let us know by Saturday at 1:30. But yes, those were the 3 races that were discussed today.
You mentioned earlier that you thought this might actually wind up in litigation. Do you still feel that way?
Everything. Come on. What doesn't end up in litigation? I hope it doesn't. I mean, I hope, actually, let me be very serious about that. We take the duty to conduct a fair election absolutely seriously. Our staff is dedicated to it. Maria Pangolina is absolutely dedicated to it. And the commissioners, I'm the independent, but the party commissioners actually work very cooperatively for an honest, fair election. And that's what we're striving for. That's what our whole discussion tonight about the recount or not to recount and how to do the formula. That's what that's all about. So yeah. So is there going to be a challenge? Probably, I guess, maybe. But the law is not favorable for people who challenge elections. There's a strong preference towards upholding the validity of elections. And I think we've put on a very good election, a very fair election, and that's what I think.
In your experience, is your expectation that the results essentially will be the same as what transpired on Saturday?
Yeah, well, one, I hope so. And yes, we go through a lot of steps to make sure the machines are accurate, they're calibrated right. We test them before and after, and we zero them out. And so yeah, I think the count was right. Places where you see big variances it can't happen. I hope it can't happen in Guam. It's never happened. Sometimes you'll read about an election in Florida or something where they suddenly find a bucket of ballots that didn't get counted. But we've got a good inventory system and a good tracking and monitoring system, and we track everything. So, everything. We track the numbers and keep very close tab on the number of ballots, and so I don't think there's going to be any big surprises. But having said that, I mean, we're doing the recount, so I hope it all comes out correct. Well, we're doing the recount, and I'm hoping that confidence. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that the public has confidence in our results, because that's important to us.
Mr. Civille.